Hello everyone and welcome to this episode of reVised TV, where we are going to take a moment to talk a little bit about balancing your time and balancing your tasks. I know for a lot of women who work out of their home or maybe balancing a full-time job in addition to a side hustle or a side business, learning how to find time for all the things that you need to do is a real challenge. I actually wrote a book on time management called Kick the Clock, How to Give Up on Managing Your Time, with this whole idea and this whole concept of learning about balance versus harmony, and how we should try to build a life around a harmony concept, not a balance concept. And just to kind of give you some insight into some of the philosophies in that little book is when we think about balance, we think everything is equal, and we think that there has to be this regimented section for each aspect of our lives, and those pieces of the puzzle need to be equal across the board. And the reality is that's just not possible. There's not enough hours in the day for us to devote the same amount of time to our day jobs, the same amount of time to our family, the same amount of time to sleep for that matter. So there's just not enough time. And so we know this. I mean, logically, I think we get the fact that there's only 24 hours, but I think that we emotionally attach to this idea that we have to give all of ourselves an equal portion to all aspects of our lives. The counter thought on that is that we have harmony. And when you think about harmony, you think that all pieces work together. They all come together to create this really beautiful piece of music if you're looking at it from a music standpoint. You can think about harmony with relationships and how everyone's a little different. Everyone may bring something different to the table, but everyone gets along and everyone is connecting, and there's this symbiotic sort of ebb and flow that happens, and it's a lot more freer, it's a lot more intuitive. Well, the same kind of concept can happen with your time. When we talk about harmony when it comes to our time, we're talking about knowing that sometimes we need to devote more time in one area versus another, and it's okay to do that. Let me give you a prime example. I had a really good friend of mine who was a rock star in her business. She was achieving level after level after level of success, and everyone was applauding her on her journey and was so excited to see her continue to rise to the ranks. However, there was a point in time when one of her kids was really, really sick and was in the hospital for an extended period of time, months and months and months of time. During that time, she was all mom, 100% of the time. All mom. Her business kind of stood still for a little bit. Her marketing didn't go forward. Things, that kind of weren't so important in the moment went to the wayside. And who among us would judge her differently? Who among us would be like, I'm so sorry, but you need to leave your kid in the hospital and go write some social media posts? No, none of us would do that, especially if you're a mom. You understand that you want to be by your kid's side 24/7 while, they're in the hospital. And that's what she did. And the beauty of that is she made a choice. And she made a choice that her time, her devotion, her energy was going to be totally directed to her child in that moment. And there was no guilt that everything else sat to the side. Maybe not in that extreme. Maybe we don't have to go to that extreme where a loved one is in the hospital. But just in our everyday life, we have to understand that sometimes things in our lives need more attention than others. If your finances are really struggling, you may choose to do a little bit more time and effort and devotion to your finances. Maybe it's your relationship, maybe it's your marriage, maybe it's helping your kids through a really tough spot with their academics. Whatever it is, it's okay that sometimes certain things are a little bit more commanding of our time than others. I know some ladies who have had a health crisis or a health scare and have chosen to really, really throw themselves into health and fitness. Hey, if that's what you want to do and that's the choice that you're making, awesome. No one can judge you against that. And just be okay that you're not judging yourself against that, and that it's going to be okay that you choose for this moment in this season to devote your time and attention in this direction. There may be a time later where business becomes a bigger priority, or your marketing efforts or growth efforts are a bigger priority. And if it's not right now, that's okay. The biggest thing I tell my clients when we're talking to coaching clients and I'm helping them grow and sustain their business, I really encourage them to celebrate the direction that they're heading, not the pace that they're heading. Because sometimes little things in life happen, and we need to be okay to step back, allow for harmony, not balance, and sometimes that means putting business on hold. I work a day job, and in my day job, I work with an amazing attorney who is a mom and a wife and was really, really devoted to her kids' success in sports and academics and just in life in general. At the same time, her husband owns a business as well, and he's grown faster and gotten larger quicker than she has. But she always looks back and says, hey, it's okay, because while you were off building a business, I was also running the carpool and making sure that the kids had what they needed for their sports and taking them to doctor's visits and getting their physicals and being mom too. And those roles, although they're shared, business owner and mom, and it's awesome to mix them all up when you need to, sometimes it just means that business is going to go a little slower, or maybe that means that other aspects of life are going to move just a little slower. Maybe you don't spend as many hours in the gym when you are toting around some toddlers. It's okay. And the message is it's okay. Remember to live in a season, not in a continuation. You're not going to stay in the same spot. Seasons come and go. And in that season, we strive for harmony. So outside of that heartfelt message to you, I wanted to share a little bit about some of the things that helps me balance a full-time job. I'm also a wife, I'm a stepmom, running a business and running several aspects of a business. Some that requires me to travel to speak, some of it requires me to spend a lot of time in front of the computer screen, writing and developing material, recording videos. Some of it's one-on-one coaching with clients or group coaching with clients. So a lot of different aspects that are coming from all different kinds of directions in my life. And so how do we keep it together? How do we know that all things go in the right place and in the right order without losing our minds? Now, I'm not perfect, and there's definitely days that I get super stressed out and overwhelmed, but those times usually come up when I haven't planned or prepared. When we care enough to prepare enough, then we take a little time to look ahead and map out a plan and create a routine that works for the moment. Now, some of you may be able to create a plan and a routine that's duplicated week after week after week after week, and if so, awesome. I found that I need to kind of take it a week at a time. And although I may know what each week sort of kind of looks like going forward, I can't just put it in a duplicated effort that everything is the same. So I kind of look at a 1 week snapshot, given all the things that I have to accomplish, blocking time to do each one of them. And so I'm going to show you a little sneak peek. Don't judge. This is my crazy color coordinated calendar. Okay, I just recently moved from a version like this to Google Calendar, where I can do all this color coordinating digitally. And part of the reason for that is with my on-the-go kind of life, this isn't always sitting in front of me. It's usually like laying on my desk or packed in my tote bag or my briefcase, and I needed something more in my hand that I could look at and refer to. And I also needed something to give me reminders to move on to the next task. I don't know about you, but I can easily get sucked into a project and be spending way more time on it than I need to. And so my Google Calendar actually like prompts me to move to the next thing, sends me reminders, allows me to keep track of tasks. And so it's taken a little bit of getting used to, and I'm still sort of trying to adapt to that, but I've really enjoyed having the flexibility that comes with the digital option. But I definitely started just like this. This is just a regular day planner. There's nothing special about it. The one thing that makes this work is there's a week snapshot, so I can look at all 7 days. You can also do this with a daily calendar. I've done that too. It just depends on how much room you need and how much space you want. I like seeing the entire week. I like being able to kind of see what's all happening and where all the moving parts are coming from. So what I do each week is that I open up the weekly calendar. I first plug in all of the times that are already spoken for, that I can't negotiate. So for me, that's my day job, Monday through Friday. I can't negotiate that any differently, or else I wouldn't have my job. My boss probably wouldn't keep me around very long. So I first put those in and plug in that time, and I color or fill in those hours of the day so that nothing else can go in there. But then, there were times where I felt like I didn't have any time to work on anything. I was struggling to fit it all in during the week, and I recognized that there are times before my workday and after my workday that I could spend doing a lot of stuff if I would just have a plan of attack, be focused in that attack, and then follow the routine so that everything gets done throughout the week. Part of my problem, if I didn't do that, is I would sit all week long and not do anything, and then I would be Thursday or Friday or Saturday, and I would feel like my entire week's worth of tasks would have to fit into that day or two. And so time blocking or looking at the calendar and accounting for every hour of the day is really helpful. It helps to point out the time that you have in your day that you may not be utilizing to the fullest. So from the moment my feet hit the floor to the moment my feet pick back up and tuck under my covers to go to bed at night, I make a plan. And that's everything from getting dressed and ready for the day to traveling to my day job, spending time at my day job, traveling home from my day job, blocking in time for dinner, for the gym, for reading, for studying, for prepping material, so on and so forth. And so the one thing that I found when I did that is I didn't need to spend my entire weekend or my entire Saturday doing all of the work that I could do during the week. And then that was great, because then that now allows me for having more time with my family. And that was something I felt like I was missing. I felt like I was just working all the time with no downtime. In reality, there's plenty of downtime if I just follow the plan. Now, there are weeks that I don't follow the plan the way I should, and I get a little lazy, and I may have a little bit of procrastination in getting some stuff done. But the great thing about time blocking is those blocks just slide over to a new spot in the week, and I can play a little catch up if I need to, or if something happens in the middle of life and it's just not feasible for me to still stick to that plan, I can easily slide those blocks around into a different spot of the week and know that it still gets done. You can also include things such as time to have quiet time and read your Bible or do some journaling. You can block in time for housework, for family time, all of that. And what I love most about doing something like this is that you can assign different aspects of your life a color. And so you can assign your business to be one color and your time with your family to be another color. And what I love about that idea is if you were to do that on a calendar and hang it on your refrigerator or put it somewhere where your family can see it. If you have kids, this is such a cool thing for them because they begin to notice the colors that impact them the most. So if family time is green time, they start to notice the green times on the calendar, and they might see red time as mom's working time, and they know that that's a little part of the day that they need to be quiet, or they need to be settled down, or they need to leave mom alone. But never fear, because the green time's coming when it's all about them. And that's such a cool way for them to respect the time without giving you a lot of mom guilt, and give you the opportunity to do what you need to do for your business or any other things in your life, but then also know that you've got a specific time carved out for them that's just for them. And in that time, guess what? We're not checking our email, we're not recording Insta stories, we're not posting to Facebook. It's all about the family or all about the kids in that moment. So if you want to get a copy of a weekly plan sheet, you can head over to the website and download a weekly calendar where you can start looking at blocking in your times and your colors and the things that needs to happen in your life. And like I said, you may need to find time to do this every single week. It may be a month at a time that you need to do. You may find that you can start the following weeks, but maybe they don't get finalized until Saturday or Sunday before the week really kicks off. Whatever works for you, the plan is the one that works. That's the one that matters, and that's the one that's perfect for you. So this is just something that's really helped me get things in place for myself. The other thing that's really helpful with this is that I carve out some time each week to do this. Like, this is not just an accident that these colors appear on the page and blocks of time get assigned for different tasks. I sit down and I have a plan of attack. I sit down and create a schedule for the week. Usually that happens on Sunday afternoon or Sunday evenings for the rest of the week. You can find the time that works best for you. But the great thing is that when that's done throughout the week, I don't have to think about what I'm going to be doing throughout the week. I know that if I follow the plan, everything that needs to get done gets done. I don't miss anything. I don't forget anything. And I definitely don't have to carry around the guilt that while I'm off doing this, I'm neglecting that. that. But the reality is that there's time for it all. And so the this and the that get on the calendar, and there's time for it all. So hopefully this is helpful for you. Head over to the website, ChristyBrowning.com. On our business page, you'll find a link in that page to get the blog that talks a little bit more about some of this and offers some real instructions, as well as the worksheet that you can download to make your own weekly plan sheet. If this video was helpful for you, I would love it if you would like it, subscribe to our channel, and share this video with another woman who you feel like would benefit from these tips and tricks. And better yet, share your own tips and tricks in the comments below, because we all have those things that work best for us. I'm not the know-it-all. I just offer my ideas, but I would love to hear yours too. So feel free to leave those comments for me below. As for now, have a great rest of your week wherever you may be, and whatever day of the week you happen to be watching this, make the most of it and expand the time that you have to do the things that you love most by taking a little time to prepare.